Have you ever felt like your life has been strangely different from everyone around you? Like no matter how hard you try to fit in, something keeps pulling you away from the crowd. Maybe people misunderstand you. Maybe you've gone through pain that nobody else seems to understand. And deep down, there's this unexplainable feeling that your life carries a purpose bigger than yourself. What if those experiences are not random? What if they are signs that you are marked by God? In this video, we are going to uncover 7 shocking signs that reveal God's hand is on your life. And trust me, some of these signs will completely change the way you see yourself. The first sign you are marked by God is that your suffering has never been ordinary. From the outside, people may look at your life and think you are just unlucky, overly emotional, or constantly facing problems. But what they do not understand is that some battles are spiritual before they are physical. There are people who live comfortably, never questioned, never tested, never pushed into deep transformation. But a person marked by God is often forged through fire. You have cried over things nobody knew about. You have carried silent battles while still trying to smile in front of others. There were seasons when you felt abandoned, misunderstood, and completely broken. And yet somehow, you survived. That is not weakness. That is evidence that God's hand has been sustaining you, even in your darkest moments. What shocks most people is this: the pain was never meant to destroy you. It was shaping you. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every rejection pushed you closer to your real purpose. Every lonely night built spiritual strength inside of you that comfort could never create. God often allows deep pressure on people He plans to use deeply. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not comfort. And some of you listening right now have been under pressure for years. You wondered why your path has been harder than everyone else's. You questioned why doors kept closing, why people walked away, why your heart had to break so many times. But the truth is, God was separating you from weakness, pride, distraction, and dependence on people. Because before God elevates a person publicly, He transforms them privately. Your suffering was not proof that God left you. It was proof that heaven was preparing you for an assignment greater than you can currently understand. The second sign you are marked by God is that you have always felt different from the people around you. No matter how hard you tried to fit in, something inside you never fully connected with the world. You may have laughed with people, spent time in crowds, and acted like everything was normal. Yet deep inside, there was always a strange feeling of separation. While others were satisfied chasing attention, pleasure, status, or temporary happiness, your soul kept searching for something deeper. And that feeling can become extremely lonely. Sometimes you even question yourself, wondering, why can't I just be normal like everyone else? But what if that difference is not a flaw? What if it is evidence that God has set you apart for a purpose? People marked by God often go through seasons of isolation because isolation creates clarity. God will sometimes remove certain relationships, distractions, and environments from your life because they are blocking your spiritual growth. And the painful part is that not everyone will understand this transformation. Some people will call you distant. Others will think you changed too much, but they cannot understand what God is doing inside of you. There are moments when you feel like you no longer belong anywhere, not fully connected to the world, yet still growing into the person God is calling you to become. That space can feel uncomfortable, but it is holy, because God often separates people before He uses them powerfully. The shocking truth is that your loneliness may actually be spiritual preparation. God is teaching you how to depend on Him instead of constantly seeking validation from people. He is training your spirit to hear His voice above the noise of the world. And while isolation feels painful in the moment, it is often where your true identity is born. Because sometimes God has to pull you away from the crowd so you can finally discover who you really are. The third sign you are marked by God is that your life has been filled with intense spiritual warfare. And no, I'm not just talking about ordinary problems that everyone faces. I'm talking about battles that seem deeper, heavier, and strangely targeted. There were moments when you were finally starting to heal, finally finding peace, finally moving closer to your purpose, and suddenly everything around you began falling apart. Fear entered your mind out of nowhere. temptation became stronger, confusion hit harder, people turned against you unexpectedly, opportunities disappeared at the last second. It felt like every time you tried to grow, something invisible tried to pull you backwards again. That is not coincidence. When a person is marked by God, the spiritual realm reacts to their potential before the world ever sees it. What makes this battle so exhausting is that many people around you cannot understand it. They only see your outward struggles, but they do not see the internal war happening inside your soul. They do not know how many nights you fought silent battles in your mind. They do not know how many times you wanted to quit, give up, or disappear completely. And yet, despite all the attacks, you are still here. Broken at times, exhausted at times, but still standing. That alone is proof that God has been protecting your life even when you did not realize it. The enemy attacks people who carry purpose because your future threatens darkness. Your voice, your testimony, your calling, your growth, all of it has power. And the closer you get to becoming who God created you to be, the stronger the resistance becomes. But here is the shocking truth. Every battle you survived was building spiritual authority inside of you. The warfare was not sent to destroy you. It was revealing the greatness hidden within you. Because people who are truly marked by God do not escape battles, they overcome them. The fourth sign you are marked by God is that you carry a deep hunger for truth that never goes away. No matter how much you try to distract yourself with entertainment, relationships, money, social media, or temporary pleasures, something inside you keeps searching for more. It is like your soul refuses to settle for a shallow life. You may have tried to ignore that feeling before. You may have tried to blend into the world and live like everyone else. But deep down, there has always been a voice asking bigger questions. Why am I really here? What is my purpose? Why do I feel empty even when everything seems fine? That hunger is not normal curiosity. It is spiritual awakening. People marked by God are often restless because their spirit knows they were created for something eternal. What shocks many people is that this hunger usually grows stronger after pain. The more you go through, the less attractive the world begins to feel. Things that once excited you suddenly feel meaningless. Conversations become empty. Fake relationships become exhausting. You begin craving peace, wisdom, truth, and spiritual understanding more than attention or approval. And sometimes this transformation scares you because you realize you are changing from the inside out. God starts opening your eyes to things you never noticed before. You become more sensitive to negativity, deception, and spiritual emptiness. It becomes harder to ignore what your soul is trying to tell you. The reason this happens is because God places a divine pull inside the people He has marked. He refuses to let them remain spiritually asleep forever. Even when you drift away, something keeps calling you back toward truth. And the powerful part is this. Your hunger for God is actually proof that God is already drawing near to you. Because people who are truly marked by God can never fully satisfy their soul with temporary things. Their spirit will always crave something deeper, holier, and eternal. The fifth sign you are marked by God is that people react to you intensely even when you have done nothing to them. Have you ever walked into a room and felt certain people instantly become uncomfortable around you for no clear reason? Or maybe you noticed that some people secretly compete with you, misunderstand you, or dislike you before they even truly know you. At the same time, there are others who feel deeply inspired, comforted, or drawn toward your presence naturally. This can feel confusing because you are simply being yourself. Yet your presence seems to trigger strong emotions in people. But what you must understand is this. When God marks a person, their spirit carries a different kind of weight. And whether people realize it or not, they can sense it. People marked by God often expose things without even speaking. Your presence can reveal insecurity in insecure people, darkness in people hiding secrets, and emptiness in people pretending to be fulfilled. That is why some individuals become defensive or distant around you. It is not always because of something you said or did. Sometimes your light simply makes hidden things uncomfortable. And the painful part is that you may spend years blaming yourself, trying harder to be accepted, loved, or understood by everyone. But the truth is, not everybody is meant to understand your spirit. Jesus himself was loved by some and hated by others for the very same reason. His presence carried truth. What is powerful is that the same presence that disturbs the wrong people also heals the right ones. There are people who feel peace when they talk to you, people who feel motivated after hearing your words, people who open up to you emotionally because they sense safety in your spirit. That is not accidental. God often uses marked people as carriers of healing, wisdom, and transformation. And even if you cannot fully see it yet, your life is already affecting people more deeply than you realize. The sixth sign you are marked by God is that no matter how far you run, life keeps pulling you back toward Him. There were moments when you tried to ignore your spiritual calling, moments when you became tired, frustrated, or disappointed with life and decided to distance yourself from God completely. Maybe you buried yourself in distractions, unhealthy habits, relationships, work, entertainment, or worldly desires just to silence the emptiness inside you. For a while, it may have seemed like it worked. You laughed, smiled, and acted like everything was fine on the outside. But deep down, there was always something missing. A strange emptiness that nothing in this world could fully satisfy. Because when someone is truly marked by God, temporary things can never permanently fulfill their soul. And what is shocking is how God continues pursuing you even after your mistakes. Every time you drift too far, something happens that awakens your spirit again. Sometimes it comes through pain. Sometimes through heartbreak, loss, loneliness, or a season of confusion that forces you to look upward again. Other times, it happens quietly, through a message, a prayer, a song, or a moment where you suddenly feel God speaking directly to your heart. It is almost like heaven refuses to let you stay asleep forever. You can run from people, you can run from purpose, but you cannot outrun the calling God placed on your life before you were even born. The reason this happens is because God protects what belongs to Him. Even during your darkest seasons, He never removed His hand from your life. There were moments you should have completely fallen apart, yet somehow you survived. That was not luck. That was grace. And the powerful truth is this: the fact that your spirit still longs for God after everything you have been through is proof that He is still calling you. Because people who are marked by God may stumble, struggle, and wander, but deep inside, they can never fully walk away. The seventh sign you are marked by God, and perhaps the most shocking of all, is that your life often feels confusing, delayed, and completely misunderstood. There are seasons where nothing seems to make sense. You watch other people move ahead while you feel stuck in the same place. You pray, you try, you work hard, yet doors keep closing in your face. Dreams take longer than expected. Opportunities disappear. People overlook you, and sometimes you sit alone wondering, God, why does my life feel so different from everyone else's? But what if the delay is not rejection? What if God is hiding you on purpose until the right time? People marked by God often go through hidden seasons where everything feels silent. These are the moments where heaven is preparing you privately before revealing you publicly. Think about it. A seed grows underground long before anyone sees the fruit. And in the same way, God develops strength, wisdom, character, and spiritual maturity in secret places. The painful part is that while you are being prepared, it can feel like your life is going nowhere. Others may even mock you, doubt you, or assume you have failed. But they cannot see what God is building behind the scenes. What makes this sign so powerful is that your confusion is often proof that your story is bigger than your current situation. God will sometimes allow uncertainty because it forces you to trust Him instead of your own understanding. He strips away your dependence on people, comfort, and control so your faith becomes stronger. And one day, the same people who overlooked you will be shocked by what God does through your life. Suddenly, the pain, delays, heartbreaks, and closed doors will connect together like pieces of a puzzle. You will realize that nothing was wasted. Every difficult season was positioning you for the exact destiny heaven had prepared for you all along. So if these signs describe your life, don't ignore them. Your pain may have purpose. Your isolation may be preparation. Your battles may be evidence that heaven has marked you for something greater. The truth is, being marked by God is not always glamorous. Sometimes it feels lonely, sometimes it feels painful, but it also means your life carries significance beyond what you can currently see. And one day, everything you went through will make sense, because God never marks someone without also preparing a destiny powerful enough to change lives.